True strength is never something you randomly stumble upon. It's something you deliberately build, one decision at a time, especially when life pushes you to the edge. Mental toughness doesn't come from avoiding obstacles, but from stepping directly into them with quiet determination. Every challenge, every doubt, every failure is an invitation to become more than someone who just survives, to become someone who thrives. And here's the truth, your mind is your most powerful weapon, but only if you train it. Most people wait for the perfect moment to begin. But real strength is not born in comfort, it's forged in discomfort, in uncertainty, in the moments where you feel like quitting but decide to take one more step forward. This isn't about pretending life is easy. It's about learning to stay centered when everything seems to be falling apart. The unshakable ones weren't born that way. They simply chose, again and again, to strengthen how they think, how they respond, and how they live. This is your invitation to make the same choice. To stop letting circumstances decide who you are, and to start shaping yourself into the kind of person who can face any storm with clarity, courage, and purpose. Because storms will come. But if you train your mind, they won't destroy you, they'll reveal your strength. The foundation of mental strength. Mental strength isn't some mysterious gift reserved for a few. It doesn't appear overnight. It's a skill, a muscle you develop through daily habits, repeated actions, and the willingness to face discomfort instead of avoiding it. At its core, it's about stability. The ability to stay grounded when life throws chaos at you. The ability to think clearly when emotions want to hijack your decisions. The ability to keep moving forward even when the future feels uncertain. Picture your mind as a fortress. If the foundation is weak, the walls collapse at the first storm. But if the base is strong, no amount of wind can tear it down. That's why true strength starts with the inner work most people ignore, becoming aware of your thoughts, questioning your patterns, and challenging the beliefs that keep you small. Life will never go exactly according to plan. You will face setbacks, disappointments, and days when you doubt yourself. Mentally strong people don't escape these realities, they embrace them. They know adversity is not an enemy but a training ground. Every obstacle is a weight you lift, and just like with physical exercise, the more you lift, the stronger you get. But here's the catch, you don't become strong by handling one bad day. Just as one workout won't make you fit, one challenge won't make you unbreakable. Strength is built daily. It's choosing every morning to take ownership of your focus, your attitude, and your actions, because those are the things you truly control. This is where discipline and awareness meet. Training your mind not to be ruled by moods, not to fold under pressure, and not to abandon your values when temptation or hardship appears. The fortress is built in the small, invisible moments, keeping promises to yourself, having the tough conversation, saying no to what doesn't serve you. Over time, these decisions stack up into a foundation that can endure storms. The goal isn't to remove struggle, it's to become the person who can face it without breaking. Understanding self-discipline. Self-discipline is the bridge between wishing for a better life and actually building one. It's the quiet, often unseen force that keeps you moving long after motivation has disappeared. People often think discipline means a joyless life, full of restriction and sacrifice. But that's not true. Real discipline is freedom. It's what allows you to choose a direction and stick with it, even when every excuse and distraction tries to pull you off course. Motivation can spark action, but discipline is what carries you through on the days you're tired, uninspired, or overwhelmed. To understand discipline, you need to understand your why. Without a deeper reason, discipline feels like punishment. But when your actions connect to something meaningful, tough choices feel worth it. Waking up early, saying no to bad habits, staying committed when it's inconvenient, it all becomes possible when tied to your purpose. Your why is your anchor in rough waters. Without it, you drift from one impulse to another. With it, you stay steady even when life gets difficult. Discipline thrives in structure. Relying only on willpower sets you up for burnout. Instead, design your environment for success, remove temptations, organize your time, and create small, achievable steps that lead to larger wins. And don't confuse discipline with perfection. You'll slip. Everyone does. What matters is not avoiding failure but recovering quickly. Mentally strong people don't waste energy on guilt, they simply get back on track. Discipline is self-respect. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you reinforce the belief that you can trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you aim higher, because you know you'll follow through. It's a cycle. Discipline builds trust, trust fuels action, and action creates results. That's how discipline transforms your life, not by making it harder, but by giving you the consistency to achieve what matters most. Embracing fear and anxiety. Fear and anxiety are emotions most people try to run from. But they're not signs that you're weak, they're signals that you're standing on the edge of growth. We've been conditioned to think they mean danger, to retreat back into safety. Yet, if you look closer, fear often points exactly to the places where your life can expand. Anxiety isn't always a curse. It's your body saying, pay attention. This matters. The real danger isn't feeling fear, it's letting fear decide your future. Think back to your biggest breakthroughs, a job interview, a difficult conversation, a leap into something new. Chances are, fear and anxiety were sitting right beside you. Your shaking hands, your racing heart, the whisper of, "What if I fail?" Those weren't signs of weakness. They were signs of importance. Mentally strong people reframe fear. They don't ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "What strength will I build by trying?" Anxiety becomes fuel when you channel it into focus and preparation instead of escape. The truth is, comfort zones feel safe but they steal your potential. Fear is the price of stepping into the unfamiliar. And while that price feels heavy in the moment, it's always cheaper than regret. Every time you face fear intentionally, its power shrinks. What once terrified you becomes routine, and what once felt impossible becomes part of your story. Fear and anxiety are not walls, they are arrows, pointing you toward the growth you're meant to step into. Building positive habits. Success in any area of life rarely comes from one massive action. It's almost always the product of small, repeated habits that compound over time. Habits are the proof of your commitment, they're what turn effort into identity. But most people fail at building habits because they try to change everything overnight. They go from zero to unsustainable, relying on sheer willpower until they burn out. Real strength comes from starting small and being consistent. Want to build a reading habit? Start with 10 minutes. Want to exercise? Begin with short workouts you know you can finish. These small victories create momentum, and momentum makes it easier to keep going even when motivation vanishes. One powerful technique is habit stacking, anchoring a new habit to something you already do. Meditate right after brushing your teeth. Write gratitude notes before checking your phone. By linking habits to existing routines, you remove friction and make them stick. Your environment is just as important. If your space is full of temptations, willpower won't save you. But if you design your surroundings to support your goals, good habits become the natural choice. And don't fear setbacks. Missing once is never failure. Quitting is. What matters is that you come back. Each time you follow through, you tell yourself, "I'm the kind of person who keeps promises to myself." Over time, that identity shift makes discipline effortless. Habits are not just about progress, they're about becoming someone new. And when your identity aligns with your actions, resilience becomes second nature. The power of mindfulness. Mindfulness isn't about sitting cross-legged for hours or silencing your mind completely. It's about being fully present, here and now, without being dragged into the past or lost in the future. In a world overflowing with noise, mindfulness is strength. It gives you control over your attention, and with attention comes control over your reactions. That small pause between stimulus and response, that's where freedom lives. When you practice mindfulness, you learn to observe your thoughts instead of obeying them. Instead of being hijacked by every emotion, you can choose. Anger rises, you notice it, breathe, and decide how to respond. Fear whispers, you acknowledge it, but you don't let it lead. Mindfulness can be practiced in the smallest moments. Breathing deeply while waiting in line. Truly tasting your food instead of rushing through it. Listening to someone without planning your reply. These simple acts train your mind to stay steady, even in chaos. Science confirms what Stoics already knew: mindfulness lowers stress, improves focus, and rewires your brain for resilience. But beyond research, its power is practical. It deepens relationships, enriches experiences, and keeps you grounded when life shakes you. The present moment is where your strength lives. Every breath, every step, every choice. When you train yourself to live there, distractions lose their grip, stress loses its edge, and your mind becomes unshakable. The role of gratitude. Gratitude isn't just something you feel when life is easy. Real gratitude is forged in the middle of struggle. It's not about ignoring pain, it's about refusing to let hardship blind you to what's still good. When you choose gratitude, you shift your perspective. Instead of drowning in what's missing, you notice what's present. Health. A roof over your head. A lesson hidden inside failure. Even the strength that got you through yesterday. Gratitude silences the endless comparisons that fuel unhappiness. It pulls you back from the trap of, "I'll only be happy when," and reminds you that right now, you already have reasons to be thankful. Science shows that gratitude literally rewires your brain, strengthening the parts responsible for calm and emotional balance. But you don't need research to feel its effect. Try this: write down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. Send a thank you message to someone who's helped you. Or pause in the middle of a stressful day to notice something good. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Gratitude protects you from entitlement, which leads to bitterness. Instead, it grounds you in humility and resilience. Because even in loss, there's something to carry forward: a relationship, a lesson, or your own growth. Gratitude doesn't erase life's flaws. But it gives you the strength to keep moving through them, with balance, with perspective, and with hope. Managing negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are not the problem, it's what you do with them that matters. Left unchecked, they can twist small problems into overwhelming burdens. But when you learn to step back, question them, and reframe them, you take back control. The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't notice. When a thought like, "I'm not good enough," appears, pause and recognize it. Treat it like an uninvited guest knocking at your door. You decide whether it gets to stay. Just because a thought shows up doesn't make it true. Many of them are echoes of old fears, insecurities, or someone else's voice you've internalized. By asking, "Is this thought accurate? Is it helpful?" you weaken its grip. Reframing is the next step. Failure doesn't mean, "I'm terrible." It means, "Here's what I need to learn." Criticism doesn't mean, "They hate me." It means, "Here's how I'm perceived." Reframing turns obstacles into opportunities. Your environment also plays a huge role. Surround yourself with constant negativity, and your mind will echo it. But if you feed your brain positive input, books, conversations, people who lift you up, your thoughts begin to follow that rhythm. Writing down your thoughts is another powerful tool. What feels massive in your head often looks smaller on paper. And once it's written, you can challenge it, reframe it, or build an action plan around it. The truth is, you'll never eliminate negative thoughts entirely. But you can strip them of their power. They become background noise rather than the steering wheel of your life. And when you master that, you stop being your own enemy, and start being your greatest ally. Setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls meant to isolate you. They're doors you control, deciding who and what gets access to your time, energy, and peace. Without them, resentment builds, burnout follows, and your strength crumbles. Setting boundaries is not selfish, it's self-respect. It's saying, my life matters enough that I decide how it will be lived. For anyone serious about mental strength, boundaries are non-negotiable. It starts with knowing your limits. Every yes you give is also a no to something else: rest, family, your health, your dignity. Notice where you feel drained or taken for granted. That's where boundaries need to be drawn. Communicating them is the next step. This doesn't mean aggression. It means clarity. Calmly saying, I can't take on more work right now, or I'm not comfortable with that conversation, is enough. Those who respect you will respect your boundaries. Those who don't reveal why boundaries are necessary. Enforcing them is the hardest part. Some people will test you, trying to push past your limits. This is where strength is required, following through with consequences when someone repeatedly disrespects your line. A boundary you never enforce is just a suggestion. The truth is, boundaries make relationships stronger, not weaker. They prevent resentment, create clarity, and allow you to give freely instead of out of pressure. And in a world full of distractions and demands, boundaries protect your focus. They ensure your life is shaped by your values, not by other people's expectations. In the end, boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about protecting the space you need to live fully, with integrity, strength, and peace. The importance of self-care. Self-care isn't a luxury you reward yourself with when everything else is done. It's a necessity. It's the fuel that keeps your body, mind, and spirit steady enough to face the demands of life. Too many people wait until burnout, irritability, or total exhaustion to pay attention. But mentally strong people listen earlier. They see rest not as laziness, but as strategy. Athletes don't grow stronger without recovery, and neither does your mind. Real self-care isn't about spa days and quick fixes. It's about building habits that keep you balanced: exercise, sleep, healthy food, quiet time, meaningful connection. For some, it's a morning workout. For others, it's an hour reading, a walk in nature, or simply saying no to things that drain them. Consistency is the key. One act of care is like one drink of water. It helps, but it doesn't sustain you. When self-care becomes part of your daily rhythm, it changes everything. And sometimes, caring for yourself means making tough choices, refusing extra commitments, walking away from toxic environments, or ending relationships that erode your well-being. That's not selfish, it's survival. When you practice self-care, you raise the standard for how others treat you. You prove that your peace, health, and energy matter. And when you're full, you can give more to the world without losing yourself in the process. Cultivating emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is a strength that often goes unnoticed, yet it determines how well you handle life. It's the ability to understand your emotions, regulate them, and respond to others with empathy and awareness. Without it, even the smartest or most talented people can sabotage their success. With it, you gain the calmness to navigate conflict, the clarity to make better choices, and the connection that deepens relationships. It begins with self-awareness. Recognizing your triggers, noticing your patterns, and asking why you react the way you do. This awareness gives you choice. You don't have to lash out, shut down, or run away. Next is self-regulation. You don't ignore your emotions, you acknowledge them without letting them drive the car. Anger comes, but you pause before you speak. Fear rises, but you breathe before you decide. Emotional intelligence is like having an internal brake system that saves you from regret. Then comes empathy, the ability to see life through someone else's perspective. Not to always agree, but to understand what drives their behavior. Empathy builds trust, strengthens relationships, and makes cooperation possible even in conflict. Finally, emotional intelligence includes motivation. The ability to turn frustration into determination and disappointment into renewed effort. It's resilience with awareness. The best part? Emotional intelligence can be learned. With practice, reflecting, listening, asking instead of judging, you sharpen it over time. And when you do, you carry not just strength for yourself, but wisdom to handle the complexity of others. Building a support system. No one builds lasting strength alone. Your inner resilience may start with you, but it is reinforced by the people you keep close. A strong support system isn't about surrounding yourself with cheerleaders who always agree. It's about relationships that challenge you, encourage you, and hold you accountable to becoming your best self. These are the people who remind you of your worth when you forget. Who give perspective when you're stuck in your own head. Who call you out when you slip, and lift you up when you fall. To build this system, you must be intentional. Not everyone deserves front row access to your life. Choose those who respect your boundaries, share your values, and show consistency in their words and actions. At the same time, distance yourself from those who drain you, criticize without building, or pull you away from your goals. True support is mutual. You don't just take, you give. You show up for others as they show up for you. This reciprocity creates trust, the backbone of relationships that endure hardship. Diversity in your circle matters too. People from different backgrounds and perspectives can give insights you'd never see on your own. And being around disciplined, resilient, purpose-driven people naturally pulls you upward. The truth is, you don't need dozens of people. A handful of strong, reliable relationships can make all the difference. Because when storms come, and they always do, you'll know you don't have to face them alone. Overcoming setbacks. Setbacks aren't proof that you're failing, they're proof that you're trying. Every meaningful journey comes with falls, mistakes, and disappointments. The difference between those who stay down and those who rise again isn't luck, it's resilience. Resilience is the choice to stand back up, to adjust, and to move forward again even when the road feels endless. It's the decision to see failure not as a verdict on your worth but as feedback, as a lesson about what didn't work. Mentally strong people don't let setbacks define them. They allow themselves to feel the sting of disappointment but then shift into problem solving. They ask, what can I learn? What can I do differently? That honesty turns obstacles into teachers instead of prisons. Sometimes recovery means pushing harder. Other times, it means pausing, regaining clarity, or even pivoting to a new path. Adaptability is the key. Because setbacks aren't detours from life's path, they are the path. They sharpen you in ways success alone never could. The more you rise after falling, the more you prove to yourself that no setback can truly break you. That's when you stop fearing failure and start using it as fuel. The power of goal setting. Without goals, you might work hard, but you'll drift like a ship without a compass. Effort without direction leads to exhaustion, not progress. Goals give life focus. They turn vague wishes into clear targets and transform dreams into steps you can measure. They filter your decisions, helping you ask, does this bring me closer to my vision or push me further away? Strong goals are specific, measurable, and aligned with your values. Vague desires like, I want to be healthier, aren't enough. Real goals sound like, I will train 30 minutes, 5 days a week. That clarity fuels consistency. Big goals can feel overwhelming, so break them down into small, doable steps. Each small win creates momentum, and momentum makes perseverance easier. But goals also require adaptability. Life changes, and sometimes the goal itself must evolve. Mentally strong people adjust the route without abandoning the destination. And here's the deeper truth, goals aren't just about achievements. They shape who you become along the way. Every step you take toward them builds discipline, resilience, and focus, qualities that remain long after the goal is reached. Sustaining mental strength. Building mental strength is one thing. Sustaining it is another. It's easy to feel strong when life is calm and motivation is high. But true strength is proven in the grind of everyday life, when progress feels slow, when problems pile up, and when the world tests your patience. Sustaining mental strength means committing to habits and mindsets that keep you steady for the long run. Mindfulness, gratitude, boundaries, rest, clear goals, these are the pillars. Remove one, and the structure weakens. It's not about perfection but consistency. Showing up for yourself, again and again, even when you don't feel like it. Adaptability is also essential. Life will shift, and yesterday's routine may not work tomorrow. The mentally strong adjust strategies while staying true to their purpose. They bend without breaking. Your environment plays a role too. Surrounding yourself with negativity slowly erodes your strength, while supportive people and positive influences help it grow. Protecting your inner circle is part of protecting your mind. And never overlook recovery. Just like muscles, your mind grows stronger through cycles of effort and rest. Pushing endlessly without breaks leads only to exhaustion. Above all, sustaining strength requires a sense of purpose, a why that keeps you going even when the road is long. With purpose, setbacks don't feel final. They become part of the process. True mental strength isn't a one-time peak, it's a way of living. A lifestyle of clarity, resilience, and discipline that carries you through every season of life. Conclusion: living with unshakable strength. Mental strength isn't about never falling. It's about refusing to stay down. It's the discipline to rise one more time, to take one more step, to believe in yourself even when evidence isn't obvious yet. Every principle we've explored, discipline, resilience, gratitude, mindfulness, boundaries, and purpose, isn't just theory. They are practical tools. Tools you can reach for when life feels heavy, when fear gets loud, when doubt whispers that you're not enough. In those moments, remind yourself, you are not aiming for a single victory. You're building a mindset capable of enduring and thriving through countless battles. You're shaping yourself into someone who can walk calmly through chaos, stay patient in uncertainty, and remain focused in distraction. That is real freedom. Not the absence of storms, but the ability to stand tall within them. So don't wait for tomorrow, or the right moment. Start today. Choose one action that aligns with the person you want to become. Then another. And another. Over time, those choices will transform you into someone unshakable. And when you look back, you'll realize the strength you were searching for wasn't something to be found, it was something you were building all along. One decision. One challenge. One step at a time.